happening to him now is one of the greatest tragedies that we're gonna ever read about, bro. This is gonna be one of the greatest tragedies of hip hop, along with Pac's death, along with Big's death.
Federal agents took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. They placed Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs.
What is happening right now is something very sad. It may become one of the biggest tragedies people will ever read about in hip-hop history. Just like when Tupac died and just like when Biggie died, this situation feels just as heavy and serious. One day, federal agents came and arrested Sean Diddy Combs. They put handcuffs on him and took him away from his home. That moment shocked a lot of people. Then something surprising happened. A man named Gene Deal, who used to be Diddy's bodyguard, started talking. He said things that many people think he was not supposed to say. According to him, Diddy may have known about the killings of Tupac and Biggie before they happened. He even suggested that Diddy might have been involved in planning them. But these are only claims, not proven facts. The strangest part is that after saying all this, Gene looked like he realized he might have said too much. Now people are worried that he could be in danger. At the same time, people are asking another big question. What is happening with Diddy now while he is in prison? For many years, people have talked about who killed Tupac and Biggie. There have always been theories online, and the topic never goes away. But this time is different. These claims are not coming from a random person. Gene Deal was actually there back in the 1990s. He worked very closely with Diddy and saw everything from up close. Gene said he was even near the scene the night Biggie was shot. He watched how Diddy acted, and he says some things did not make sense. He noticed strange behavior, reactions, and decisions that most people never saw. That is why people are paying more attention now. After staying quiet for many years, Gene has finally started speaking, and what he is saying sounds shocking. To understand all of this, we need to go back in time. In the mid-1990s, hip-hop was very different. Tupac and Biggie were not enemies at first. They were actually good friends, almost like brothers. But things changed quickly. By 1996 and 1997, there was a big rivalry between the East Coast and West Coast. Rappers started choosing sides, songs became aggressive, and tension was everywhere. Then, on September 7, 1996, Tupac was in Las Vegas after a boxing match. While sitting in a car, someone pulled up next to him and shot him many times. He fought to survive for 6 days, but sadly, he died on September 13th. He was only 25 years old. The whole music world was shocked, but things got even worse. Just 6 months later, on March 9, 1997, Biggie was killed in Los Angeles. He was leaving a party when another car pulled up and started shooting. Biggie was hit multiple times and did not survive. He was only 24 years old. In a very short time, 2 of the biggest stars in hip-hop were gone. For years, police tried to find out who was responsible, but no one was arrested. The cases went cold, and people were left with questions. Now Gene Deal is speaking, and he says important details may have been missed. He claims that Diddy felt jealous of Tupac, not just normal jealousy, but something deeper. Tupac had something special. When he walked into a room, people noticed him immediately. He had confidence, he had energy. He didn't need to try hard to get attention. It just came naturally. People listened when he spoke. People felt his presence. Gene says that this is something money cannot buy. Now compare that to Diddy. Diddy had success. He had power. He had a record label. He had money. But according to Gene, he didn't have that same natural connection that Tupac had with people. And that difference may have created feelings that grew stronger over time. Then we go back to an important moment in 1994, the Quad Studios shooting. That night, Tupac was attacked, robbed, and shot multiple times inside a building. He survived, but everything changed after that. Tupac started believing that people close to him knew about the attack and did nothing to stop it. Gene claims that Diddy was in the building that night. He says there were conversations happening about teaching Tupac a lesson, and according to him, Diddy may have known those conversations, but nothing was said. That silence is what makes people uncomfortable, because sometimes saying nothing can be just as powerful as saying something. Then comes 1996, the year Tupac was killed. There are claims that money may have been involved, stories about a large amount of money being offered for the attack. One name that comes up is a man who said he was offered $1 million to carry out the plan. But here is where things get confusing. Some say only half the money was paid. Some say the money never reached the people who were supposed to receive it. Some say it passed through different hands. And this creates one big question. Where did the money really come from? Gene believes that if investigators follow the money trail, they might find answers, because money always leaves a path. Now let's move to the night Biggie died. Gene says he was there. He saw everything, and what he describes is very strange. He says Diddy was not acting normal that night. Usually, when it was time to leave, Diddy would leave quickly, no delays, no waiting. But that night was different. He kept moving around, talking to people, stopping for no clear reason, acting nervous. Gene says he had never seen him behave like that before. Then comes the most important moment. Gene wanted to protect the notorious B.I.G. by staying close to his car. That was his job. But Diddy stopped him. He told him not to do it. He even threatened to fire him if he didn't listen. Think about that. A bodyguard wants to protect someone, and he is told not to do it. That does not make sense. Soon after that, the cars started moving, and then it happened. A car pulled up next to Biggie's vehicle. Shots were fired. Everything happened in seconds. Gene tried to chase the shooter, but he says something strange stopped them. Their car could not go fast enough. He claims there was a speed limiter that prevented them from catching up. Because of that, the shooter escaped. When Gene looks back at everything, he believes it was not random. He believes it was planned. The timing was too perfect. The position of the car was too exact. Everything lined up too cleanly. According to him, that kind of planning requires inside information. Someone had to know where Biggie would be, when he would leave, and where to attack. Gene believes all of this points to something bigger. He even claims that after Biggie died, Diddy gained more success, more control, and more power. That makes people ask even more questions. But the story doesn't end there. Years later, Gene says he learned something even shocking. He claims that Diddy may have wanted him gone too, because he knew too much. And that hurt him the most. He says he was loyal. He protected Diddy. He risked his life for him. But in the end, that didn't matter. Now, all these claims are spreading everywhere. People are talking. People are debating. People are questioning everything. But remember this clearly. These are claims, not proven facts. The truth is still not fully clear. And maybe that is what makes this story so powerful. Because even after all these years, we are still searching for answers. After hearing everything, one thing becomes very clear. This story is not simple. It is not just about music. It is not just about fame. And it is definitely not just about the past. This is about truth. For many years, people have talked about the deaths of Tupac Shakur and the notorious B.I.G. These were not just artists, they were voices of a generation. They inspired millions of people around the world. Their music lives today, but their stories were never fully finished. There have always been questions. Who was really responsible? Why did it happen? Could it have been stopped? And now, after all these years, new claims are bringing those questions back again. When someone like Gene Deal speaks, people listen, not because everything he says is proven, but because he was close to the situation. He saw things from a position that most people never had. But here is something very important you must remember. Listening is not the same as believing. In today's world, information spreads very fast. Stories travel across the internet in seconds. One video can reach millions of people. One claim can change how people think. That is why you must be careful. You must think, you must question, and you must not accept everything as truth without proof. Because real truth takes time. Real truth needs evidence. Real truth stands strong even when people try to break it. Right